Konnichiwa! Today's show is all about 3 brand new Sega Genesis and Sega Mega Drive games that you can buy this year. So let's not hang about, let's get straight into it. My name's Mike, and this is the Retro Gamer Boy Show. Before we get into this week's show, I just want to say a huge thank you to all of you that have subscribed, who take time out to talk with me in the comments, and who share and like the videos every week. It's awesome to have such an amazing community here at the Retro Gamer Boy Show. So in this show, we're going to be covering 2 platform games, one of them a AAA platform game, and a beat 'em up for the Sega Mega Drive and for the Sega Genesis. And these games are being released this year, in fact, within the next month. So you'll be able to get your hands on them pretty soon. The first game is a platform game from Second Dimension, and it's called The Curse of Illmoore Bay. The game is a side-scrolling platformer and has been developed by Second Dimension, and it's available for you to buy now. You can get a digital copy, you can get it on Steam, or you can get, which is my preference, the physical copy, and that's, I think, as a cartridge or as a cartridge and a box and manual as well. Now on the surface, The Curse of Illmoore Bay looks like your run-of-the-mill platformer that you'd find on any of the 16-bit consoles. The story and setting starts with an employee at a local mall who plays Santa. He comes across a curse book, and sick of his festive gift-giving role, he decides to call upon the spooky spirits, and this sets up the world for Illmoore Bay, a world where its inhabitants are stuck within this Halloween nightmare, and it's up to 3 hero children to help free them from it. Much like Asteborg or Buster's Hidden Treasure, this game is a left-to-right side-scrolling platformer. You start off with your standard mechanics that you get in any platformer. You can jump, you can attack, and you can move left and right. There's a number of obstacles in your way. Some of these are NPC bad guys, skeletons, witches, monsters, and there's also a number of environmental hazards. Acid, boiling water, spikes, and pits that just go on forever. And so yes, at its surface, The Curse of Illmoore Bay looks like your run-of-the-mill platformer, but there is a ton of hidden depth to this game. The goal, like with any side-scrolling platformer, is to get to the end of the level. And in The Curse of Illmoore Bay's case, this involves you getting a key and then unlocking a portal to the next level. But you'll notice there's a ton of areas that you can't get to. And that's because every time you defeat an end of level boss, you get a new power up. To start with, you have projectile weapons. Once you beat the first boss, you get some bat wings, and these allow you to glide along the level, allowing you to get to parts of a level that you couldn't before. Also, when you finish a level, there's a percentage completion screen. Now, I haven't 100% completed a level yet, so I don't know what happens there, but I'd like to think that you can unlock secrets by completing levels 100%. Your new abilities also allow you to unlock little sub-areas within the level. The Curse of Illmoore Bay is definitely one of those platformers that has you going back and playing levels multiple times. The replayability on this game is fantastic. The visuals in this game, as well as the sound design, are solid, and the gameplay mechanics, the platforming mechanics, are solid as well. But this extra depth that the team has added, where you can take abilities earned in later levels and bring them back to some of the earlier levels, is an ingenious idea, and it had me playing for hours going back and forth between levels, trying to unlock and complete everything 100%. Now, like with a lot of these brand new games coming out for the Sega Genesis and Mega Drive, there is a demo for you to play, so you can try before you buy. But one note of caution is that the game has had some massive improvements since the original demo was released. I'll put the details in the description below for how you can get your hands on The Curse of Illmoore Bay. Our next game needs no introduction. It is one of the biggest AAA titles to hit the Sega Genesis and Mega Drive in 2021, and that is The Demons of Asteborg. Now, we've covered the Demons of Asteborg a couple of times on the channel, but since we last covered it, a huge amount has been done on the game. The team have released footage that reveals a ton of new abilities available in the game, there's been a graphic overhaul of the whole game, and there's brand new levels that are being revealed to us. All in all, Demons of Asteborg is shaping up to be one of the biggest games, apart from maybe ZPF, to come out this year, and it just looks stunning. The attention to detail when baddies are destroyed, the massive boss fights that we can see going on here, and the way that the team have linked together combat, abilities, and traversal through the world seamlessly just makes this feel so much like an original AAA title for our 16-bit console. Demons of Asteborg is coming out at the beginning of June, and you can still pre-order the game. I'll put the link for where you can do this in the description below. Fight for Vengeance is our final game in this rundown of brand new games that you can buy this year for your Sega Genesis and Sega Mega Drive, and it comes out this May. Developed by a super small team and published by PSCD Games, this is a fighter coming out for the Sega Genesis and Mega Drive. It's no secret that the fighting genre is one of the hardest to create on these 16-bit platforms. But there's one team and one person in particular who's doing his best to try bring this genre back to life on the Mega Drive and Genesis. Now, most of the fighters that we find on our beloved 16-bit console had million-dollar budgets and huge teams behind them to create the assets and the fighting mechanics that make them so amazing. Now, Fight for Vengeance has nowhere near the budget or scope that these original teams had. Instead, its creator is making small and progressively better steps as he develops each one of his fighting games for the console. Now, Fight for Vengeance, I think it's fair to say, is more like a game that would have been released at the beginning of the console's life. Think of the original Street Fighter rather than Street Fighter 2. The characters are pixel-based animated sprites, and the backgrounds are 3D generated digitized pictures. Whilst it's not going to compare to your favorite fighters on the Sega Mega Drive and Genesis, it's an awesome attempt at bringing this genre back to life on a 16-bit console. If you want to experience what it was like to be in the arcades playing some of these early fighters, or just get some of that nostalgia for playing the original Street Fighter, then the Fight for Vengeance is definitely for you. So there we have it, 3 brand new games. 3 games for your Sega Genesis and Mega Drive. A solid platformer with some unique mechanics, a AAA action platformer with some stunning presentation and amazing attention to detail, and a late 80s tribute fighting game for you to pick up on your console. Links to all of these brand new games are in the description below, and you can purchase or pre-order all of these games now for release within the next couple of months. If you've enjoyed this week's show, then why not consider subscribing by clicking on a little button just below this video. We put out brand new retro gaming videos every Monday, and you can get notified as soon as we have a new show for you by clicking on the little button also just below this video. But if you can't wait until next Monday, if that's too long for you, then don't worry, because we've got a huge back catalogue of retro gaming videos, 2 of which you can watch over here.